It's the Sleepers Podcast. It is Tuesday, July 23rd. And yes, Guy, I know what day it is tomorrow. Cart, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You know, could I be doing better? Actually, no, I don't think I could be. I'm doing pretty damn well on this Monday. I slept 8 hours last night. My Oura ring tells me my readiness is up to par today. Things are going well, I think.
Well, for our listeners, it's Tuesday.
It is. Well, I'm feeling great on Tuesday as well. I can already feel it.
You just got to see some scans of your son. I've already seen one, but do you want to address the simple, true fact that your son has the exact same face that you have already?
Yeah. I had the 4D scan this morning, and it's mine. It's mine. It looks exactly like me. I mean, exactly like me.
Did we? I mean, obviously, the answer to this is no, but let's just make sure for the folks at home. Did we have any doubts going into today that the baby was yours? It seems like
There was one YouTube comment a little while ago that had me off my pivot, but like it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, you seem very excited that the baby is yours, as if we didn't know that already coming in. But here we are. Yeah, I don't know how. I guess I don't know what you're gonna name your son. But I would assume like Carter Jr. has to be in play here after seeing his face. You know,
Yeah. Also, maybe not Carter Jr., maybe just Carter.
just Carter.
Yeah, like just run it back.
So like your Carter Elliott and your son is just Carter Elliott.
Yeah, with like a different middle name.
Yeah, it could be good. You think Meg would be on board for that?
Probably not.
Probably not. But do you care at this point? Like, do your wife's interests in your son's name matter to you, or are you just like, look at his face, he's mine?
I'm more so right now just on the look at his face. He's mine. Don't want to dive too deep into it. He seems comfortable though. That's throwing me off.
Like the expression on his face isn't what you were hoping for, even if the look of the face is.
Like he's ready to. He looks like he's gonna coast, and I don't want a coasting baby.
Yeah. So you need some adversity to hit.
Right.
Any thoughts on how to inflict some adversity in your future son's life in the third trimester?
You know, it's a little difficult because he's definitely very, very tightly protected right now, being inside my wife. So, I don't know. We'll have to find out some things, maybe some music that he doesn't necessarily like, something like that.
What's a song you think he doesn't like?
He doesn't like instrumentals.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't like instrumentals. He's a big Gunna guy, likes Taylor Swift, Drake, of course. Noah Khan guy as well as of
Wow.
late. Little Zach Bryan mixed in there, but he loves Gunna. If you throw
Wow.
on anything Gunna, he'll get the kicking.
Gets a tippy tapping in there.
Yeah, get the jigging.
Yeah, got it. Well, my daughter hates the fray. We discovered that after she was out of the womb. So
Really?
that's been a true thing. This is not a bit through 14 months of my daughter's life. She's pretty into all music for the most part, but if you just put a Frey song on that started when she was like 2 months old, she scream cries.
Really?
She's not a scream crier. And we've tried it. So like we were like, whoa, that was weird. A couple days later, like put it back on, scream cry. Waited 6 months, put a Frey song on, scream cry in the middle of like a happy afternoon play.
Huh.
Hates them.
Answer the window through your life. She goes like this right between the pray to God he hears you when you say.
Yeah, it's tough. Bangers. Yeah. It's tough to be my daughter and not like the Frey because,
Yeah.
girl, do I have news for you. Okay, let's get to the show. Do you want to start with a YouTube comment?
I most would certainly love to start with the YouTube comment because what other way would we start this doohickey? Let's see. Okay, we got N Valdez commented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the last 2 minutes as we're recording this on all on different videos, by the way, but all the same comment. Shake and Gregory do a live event at Harry's Chocolate Shop, and my life is yours.
Mm.
Well, first of all, Mr. Valdez or Mrs. Valdez, I'm not really sure where you're coming from here. Um, Need to know like what that entails. Like, what is your life respectfully worth it? To like, what are you going to add to us? And then
That's
two,
crazy, man. That's crazy. Asking,
and
is
then
your life worth it? That's crazy.
no, well, her life's worth it, but is her life worth it to us? Like, is she going to add something, or is he going to add something to the table, to
Yeah.
this very
The answer
secure
should be
table?
yes. The answer in theory should be yes.
Yeah, in theory, but like in theory, I should also be in the league. And then I don't know if we can do a live event at Harry's Chocolate Shop because unlike the decibels that Mackie reaches, anything louder than a pin drop, I think, is frowned upon at Harry's Chocolate Shop. So I don't know if we can do that because you have to use inside voices when you're in Harry's Chocolate Shop.
Yeah, I had a great time with the people at Harry's Chocolate Shop when we were in West Lafayette last time. I mean, I had like a manager come speak to me and tell me I needed to tone it down for rooting against Indiana too loud. Mind you, we are at the premier Purdue bar, and I was told to be quieter in how I am rooting against Indiana. That just didn't sit right with me. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to do live shows at a bunch of different places. Harry's, if we were going to do one in West Lafayette, would definitely be on the list. We joined the Boilers in the Stands post game show last time, just from, I forget what the pizza shop was called. It was really great though.
I think it was a brewery. It was good though.
It's like brewery and pizza. Yeah, it was really, really
Yeah.
good. So I don't know. That's something I'm very open to in all seriousness though. And something that may actually be coming to fruition maybe in a different spot in the state of Indiana if all goes well in the next couple months. We'll find out. More to come on
Oh,
that. Should we go to the Discord? It
please.
was a good weekend in the Discord. Nothing better than like being few drinks in, maybe a little bit intoxicated, a little bit inebriated, you could say, and just checking the Discord and seeing what all the friends are popping off on in the Discord. I was doing that from the drive home from the wedding that I was in. Really, really enjoyable night in the Discord. It's popping. Off-season hours are here, and everybody's locked in. Cart.
Can you spell inebriated?
No,
Hmm. Okay.
no. Okay, we're gonna start today. We have a lot of comments today, so just keep that in mind as we go. Coy, football, favorite of the field. The following are the betting favorites to win each conference. Are you taking the favorite or someone from the field? If it's the field, why? In the ACC, Florida State plus 290.
I am taking that.
I'm gonna take the field just because I don't trust Florida State that much. I know it's a pretty high level, but I don't think they're gonna like run away. So why not just take the field? Ohio State Big Ten plus 155.
Field.
Why?
Plus 155, I feel like it's a little more open. New teams involved. Oregon's like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the field as well. I think Ohio State is a historically great video game version of themselves right now. Judkins is like impossible to stop in that. I think
Yeah,
Judkins
he
is
is.
better in the video game than he is in real life. They could win the league, and I won't be surprised at all. I think they are the most talented team, but I think they've had the most talent probably 3 of the last 4 seasons, and they are in that weird mental hurdle right now. Like nobody in that locker room has even beaten Michigan, let alone ran to a Big Ten championship. So like they got some hurdles to do. As you mentioned, there's bigger schools. Oregon's here. Penn State's really good. I would not put my money on Ohio State at 155. I would want it to be at least like 3-1. Georgia and the SEC 2-1.
I'm gonna take the field just because it's
Why?
the SEC.
Okay. I'm gonna take Georgia 2-1. Nick Saban is gone. That's why.
That's
Like
it.
I mean, it's been Georgia and Nick Saban, and only one of them remains. And I think Georgia has the most talent in that league right now. Utah in the Big 12 at plus 320.
Field.
Any particular reason?
I love my Jayhawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the field as well, and it's gonna be like because I want to bet Kansas constantly,
Yeah,
but
is it Kansas State good? Kansas State's gonna be good too.
Kansas State's good. There's a lot of good teams in the Big 12. I think honestly, like Arizona could make a run at that conference as well with
Yeah.
the QB Fafita. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm gonna bet Kansas every game. They're gonna go like 7-5, and they're gonna
Yeah, but
they're
it's
gonna
gonna be
destroy us.
great.
It is. Okay, let's see here. Malik Perry. I'm one who will say things on the internet and not care. But Le'Veon Bell, you are so wrong. Calling Angel Reese and Kyrie Gondrzak fives is crazy. Angel, I can see it, but not Kyrie. She resembles Aaliyah. Get his head examined or his eyes. The man is crazy. Top 5 beaches from Sleeve question. Singapore, Guam, Australia, Israel, and Hawaii. Apparently, Malik just wants to answer our questions now. I'm watching Friday's episode. Someone quick asked Carter a question. He's getting jealous of Riley. Okay, I got it. Why Carter got an 8-year-old haircut?
Why do I have an 8-year-old haircut?
Yeah, I think he's saying that your hair is resembling what an 8-year-old would get.
Huh. I digress. I disagree with that.
Purdue Fox says, it's your fault. My Fox fiance is mad at me. She left the den this week for a work trip and insisted we talk in the morning on my way to work instead of the time I listen to you all. When she complained I wasn't talking, I told her that I'm not functioning at a high level in the mornings and your content helps me begin to process things so I'm ready to go for work. She didn't like that response and now I'm assuming I'll be locked out of my den. Thanks.
We don't endorse that.
We always prioritize the female foxes in your lives.
Always.
Always. Let's see. Same old line says, real question. Why is Malik letting his son get a haircut like an 8-year-old? Bad parenting.
I hate my life sometimes.
I Maynard says, I just wanted to give my Duke nostalgia draft. Jay Williams, JJ Redick, Shane Battier, Zion Williams, Williamson, Sheldon Williams, Kyle Singler, sixth man, John Shire as coach, LOL JK, Steve Wojciechowski as the alumni assistant. Anybody beating that team?
Are we talking about like TBT or are we talking like,
It's our nostalgia draft from the weekend.
oh,
Yeah.
that's a tough team. It's not as tough as you think, though, to be honest with you. Like, it's tough. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could, I'll take my Michigan State team over that team.
There's nothing Sheldon Williams did better than Jaleel Okafor. I just want to get that on paper. Also, drafting Kyle Singler hurts me physically. Next on, Braden Shrewsbury has his Notre Dame version of this. Ben Hansbrough at point guard. We're going to stop right there because Ben Hansbrough is the name he chose. That's insane, Braden. I honestly, out of respect to you, I will read the rest of it. But good Lord, man. Ben Hansbrough's your first pick. I think I have it bad sometimes. Ben Hansbrough, Jerry and Grant, Pat Connaughton, Bonzi Colson, Jack Cooley, Demetrius Jackson.
Wasn't that literally just an actual Notre
like
Dame team?
like 4 years ago. Malik
Yeah.
Perry says sometimes a kid just don't want to be a man. He won't grind, run from hard times, and makes claims without proving them. He's still a good guy. His kid going to be a tiger. Call him Tony because he's going to be great. I don't know what I'm reading, man. I don't know. Next up is Guy, who says in all caps, we need to take down big caffeine. After I go to the gym, I always go to the Target downstairs to buy crack. I mean, Core Power 42-gram protein shakes. Usually these shakes are right at the front of a cold section. I grab them, get to the self checkout. There's like 3 more sentences about Dirty Monster Energy. Down with big caffeine.
I love caffeine, so no.
Guy says the TBT is so fun. My championship prediction is Red Scare beating Aftershock.
You thinking the TBT is so much fun is just very on par.
CTK says any chance you cover the TPT might not seem like much to most people, but to others, it's a sentimental opportunity to watch some of your favorite former players hoop one more time. I'd like to see it gain popularity and expand to more schools. We did a video on the Purdue Indiana TBT game this morning. I don't think we're going to be doing much TBT, but if anything relevant happens with any of the schools that we like to cover, yes, we will flex to that. We may do something on the final, depending on how it goes. I think in general, at least my stance, you can speak for yourself. My stance is I really enjoy the TBT. I don't find it super relevant to the basketball world. And that's what I want. I want to be covering relevant happenings in basketball on our channel. I will recreationally enjoy it, though, as a viewer.
Yeah. I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah. Guy says, Carter, my honorary Latter-day Saint. Did you know that the Mormons believe in a planet/star called Kolob that is supposedly close to God and has people loving on it? There isn't any scientific proof it exists. They just go off of vibes.
Okay. I was out until it ended with they have no scientific proof. They just go off of vibes. I like that thought process in every aspect of life.
People can't tell if it's a planet or a star. That's interesting to me.
Also, guys 100% making this up, right?
I can't tell. Malik says, Carter, I'm going to give you the chance to take back what you said about John Stockton. How is Clark better? Please explain. There's not a point guard alive who wouldn't want his career.
Who wouldn't want John Stockton's career?
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that I could ask a lot of people if they would want John Stockton's career, and more would say no than you would say yes.
Out of precautionary purposes, I'm going to move on rather than digging deeper with follow-up questions here. Let's move
You
on.
sure? You sure?
Same Old Lion says, just want to let the people know pedicures are underrated for men. Hashtag treat yourself.
Love a good pedicure. I need them too because my feet get out of control. Like, I need them bad.
Got it. Yeah, not into it.
Not surprising. You ever had one?
No, no, not into
Never
it.
getting one. Never getting
I
one. Are you?
I have very ticklish feet.
Yeah, but you can let them know that though, and they can refrain from doing anything that causes ticklish actions.
I mean, isn't the whole thing with a pedicure they have to touch? What are they going to pedicure me with if they're not touching my feet?
Well, are you talking about like you can't get your feet touched at all or they're ticklish?
Correct.
That's crazy. Like even a little bit.
Correct.
Huh.
If
All right,
another
then.
human being uses their hands on my feet, it's
Do
going to
you
get
cut
nasty.
do you cut your own toenails?
Yes, that's my hands.
How often do you cut your toenails?
Enough.
Okay.
How often do you cut your toenails?
I don't cut my toenails.
That's insane. Jay Hart, aka
My wife
Fields.
cuts my toenails.
Please don't tell me that's real.
She
Like,
does.
please seriously do not tell me that Meg cuts your toenails.
Sometimes she does.
What are the circumstances of that?
Like the circumstance that she cuts them.
Correct.
I'm like, can you cut my toenails?
And she says yes.
Yeah.
Happily, willingly cuts your toenails.
hmm
You are in the middle of a lie right now, and
I,
you know you
I
are.
I swear to God, I don't. The thing is, because I got this thing. Like I went to back when we first started dating, right?
Carts, just stop.
No, I
This
promise
isn't
you, it's not.
worth this
No, no,
isn't
no, no,
worth
no, no, no,
creating a
no,
backstory with.
no. Please, just hear me out. It'll take 2 seconds, okay? When we first started dating, before I even knew like pedicures were a thing. So this is back in college, right? And in Albion, the only like spa there is at like the front of a Walmart. And I went there and I got a pedicure before something, and I got an ingrown toenail. And I don't know if you ever had one of those, but it is one of the most painful things of all time
What does this have to do with your wife cutting your toes?
because I get scared that if I cut them wrong, I will get an ingrown toenail, and she cuts them perfectly.
She has never cut your toenails.
Yes. Oh, yes. I swear on
Call her
I
right
swear on,
now. Call
I,
her. Call her right now.
I'm pretty sure all right. She might be on a meeting though.
Call her right now. I just got a text from her. Hey, she actually does.
From time to time.
There's no way this is real. That's one of the most insane things I've ever heard. That's one of the nastiest, grossest, wildest things that I have ever heard.
You wouldn't cut your wife's
Does
toenails if
she
she
like
asked you?
scoop up the clippings and throw them out herself and you just like
No,
sit there on your phone? Like what
no, 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 no,
do you make your wife do other disgusting hygienic things for you? Like what else?
no. My feet aren't like that nasty. Let's move on with the comments. You're getting hung up on this.
Yeah, for good reason. This is insane. Oh my God. You think you know a guy. You think you know a girl. Goodness. J Hart Fields says on hour 6 of a 14-hour shift, I caught myself thinking I need to get back into a rhythm of getting fits off. What's your go-to fit that looks good every time?
Mm. Um, my go-to safe one as of late has been like I got like different colors of Lululemon ABC pants. And then I got like a rotation of button ups that I think I got from like American Eagle or something like that. Or Abercrombie and Fitch, one of them. I don't know. My wife got them for Christmas, birthday, something like that. But
Abercrombie?
yeah, I think it was Abercrombie and Fitch or American Eagle, one of those.
Abercrombie?
And Abercrombie?
Abercrombie.
Is that what it is? Abercrombie. Yeah, one of those, but they slap.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have a go-to fit. I don't. I would say like wedding me is a thing. Like if I'm attending a wedding, it's become a thing. And I think I lived up to that standard on Saturday. We had the white pants, brown shoes, no socks, brown belt. I did go out. I was like shirt hunting because I knew the look I wanted, and I just needed a shirt that looked good. And I bought like 4 different various versions of like polos slash button downs before I get yelled at for not wearing a suit to this wedding. It was an outdoor wedding, second wedding of one of my friends, much more casual than a traditional like black suit and tie event. Yeah, I think I was very proud of the fit. Got a lot of compliments. I did get 2 different people also who said they were coming to the wedding excited to see what I would wear. And I took that as one of the nicest things anyone's ever bestowed upon me. So
That's special.
there you go. Jack J7 said Monumental Sell by Jeremiah Fears needs to be discussed. Could have been the star at Illinois next year, but instead he had to go to the NBA ASAP and is now stuck with Porter Moser and being in the basement of the Big 12. We did do a reactionary video to this. Do you consider this a monumental sell by Jeremiah Fears?
Nah, I don't. He's getting what he wants.
Yeah, I think I've swung around on it. I don't like it, but I would not call it a monumental sell because if you think it would have been the right move to go to a college next year, he can still do that. And he's just going to have more money in his pockets and possibly a bigger role this year. As long as he plays and gets money from Oklahoma, this ain't a sell. If he ends up at Kentucky or wherever next year, we'll see. I Maynor says, given how Team USA looked against South Sudan, in an international play since Coach K stopped coaching them. Should Coach K get more credit for his time as the Team USA coach? I always thought it was a fairly easy job until now.
I mean, I think I've made my thoughts evidently clear on how I feel about Steve Kerr, the international coach. Some of the things he does are baffling at times. So I don't know if it's more so giving Coach K more credit or assessing the fact that Steve Kerr is a little bit different with Team USA.
You know, I think all things in life should be reframed under the lens of doesn't Coach K deserve more credit? I think that's one of those things we should really focus on and spend a lot of time on. Speaking of Team USA and Duke, who looked more impressive versus Team USA, Cooper Flag or Kaman Maluak?
I thought Cooper Flag looked more impressive.
I liked Maluak a lot in this game, but yeah, I still think it's Flag. But man, Duke is loaded. Both these
Yeah.
guys look ready to play. Sleeve says Man and Coop torching Team USA got Coach K wanting to get out of retirement. I don't know about that. I think he's happy right now.
Yeah, a little too much Coach K talk going on in the comments today.
Yeah, let's move on. Guy says 2 questions. If you could pick any 2 college basketball players to be president and vice president, which 2 would you pick? Also, if it was still between Biden and Trump, who do you think the worst duo that would still do better than either of them? I'd rather have Caleb and RJ than either man with dementia. That's flirting dangerously close to our politics line, which is we don't want to do that, and that's not what we do in the Discord or on the show. So the second half of that, the who would do better, throw that part out of this. Let's just do who do we think would be the best possible duo and worst possible duo from college basketball?
They got to be on the same team.
Yeah, I think teammates.
Okay, I think Trey Galloway being the president and Gabe Cupps being VP would work extremely well. Like I think that'd be best for our nation.
Sure, that would be
Um,
good.
Worst. Um, who's Vanderbilt's 2 guard?
I don't know. That's funny
AJ
though.
Hogard and whoever's his VP.
Yeah, that's funny. I think the best is Braden and Fletcher, pretty clearly. Like,
Mm.
great looking ticket, and just you need someone who's willing to go to bat for their vice and vice versa. And Braden's already been doing that for Fletch. I like it a lot. And also like a lawyer name on like the promotional tickets would stick. The lawyer family feels very political. On the flip side, Doug McDaniel and Coleman Hawkins would be a disaster of monumental proportions.
It'd be fun though.
It would be his. Who would be the president? Who would be the vice? Don't you think like I think almost for disaster purposes, Coleman would need to be the vice so he could
He's
like try and undermine Doug the whole time.
Yeah, also Coleman, he doesn't want to be the high. He doesn't want to be the highest position. He just wants to be. He doesn't want to be the highest pay. He doesn't want to be the highest position. He just wants to be the VP.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. Okay, moving on. I Maynard says, can you explain Joe Biden dropping out in college basketball terms?
Um,
Ulamog had a great response already to this. John Calipari leaving Kentucky.
is that what it is?
Yeah, my fellow Americans, my fellow Wildcats, it is time for me to leave. Like,
I forgot he did that.
was it time?
Okay, that kind of fits in.
I'm just saying. Malik Perry says All-Star WNBA beat the Olympic team. How easy they wanted it more. WNBA beat other countries because they like the dream team. No one can beat them except other WNBA players. Who's the best in America now?
What's the next comment?
That felt like hieroglyphics. Who's the
Yeah,
best? Who's the best in America right now?
like the best player,
I think who's the best female player in America right now?
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson, pretty clearly, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tristan says, in honor of President Biden, which college basketball coaches should follow his lead into retirement? Looks over to Carter for the first answer.
Hmm. There you go, Mike Woodson.
These things are cooking for them right now, man.
He doesn't even know they are.
Just saying. There's a lot of different answers to this. I think Fran McCaffrey should go spend time with his family. I think Kyle Neptune should probably look into other career paths. I think Tom Izzo should, go take a walk or something. I don't know. There's a lot of answers, but not Mike Woodson. Malik Perry says to answer Tristan. Oh my God. Did you see this comment?
No.
I don't know if I should read it or not.
If that's your reaction, then you should not read it.
It's really funny though.
Can you send it to me? Can you screenshot
I
it?
think I'm just gonna read it. Know that
No. I want to have a say.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm pulling rank. I'm gonna read it. This is me quoting Malik Perry, who's in our Discord. This isn't me. This is me quoting it.
This is gonna go bad.
And he did not like that Tristan was taking a shot at Izzo. So here's Malik's response. To answer trash man, free man, busting back shots. That's a good question. I think there's more coaches who should be fired than retire.
Busting back shots is crazy.
Absolutely insane,
Insane.
man. Absolutely insane.
Did
Oh
you,
my
did you
God.
tag Bam in that one?
Nobody has yet, but we need to. Malik says, you think if the Indiana Fever offered Cheryl Miller the head coaching job with full control, would she take the job?
Probably. She had a great mic'd up moment this past weekend.
Yeah, she did. It was good.
Loved it. It's in the bookmarks. It will be used for future reference.
I think anybody would take the Indiana Fever job. If you could coach Caitlin Clark right now, I think anybody would drop what they could do and do it and be attached to that. I Maynard says, what's more valuable, 1 year of AJ DeBancer or 1 year of Cam Boozer?
Ooh.
Easy for me.
DeBancer.
Cam Boozer. Easy.
You think Cam Boozer is better than DeBancer?
No. I think whoever gets AJ DeBanza is going to spend an entire NIL budget on one player, and that one player is not good enough to do anything that corresponds to winning. Just isn't. Like if you
Okay, so you're saying because AJ is more than Cam Boozer.
there isn't a school in the country other than Kansas that has more than $3 million to spend on players. So he's literally demanding your entire NIL budget. Would you rather have Umar Ballo and Malik Renew back and Miles Rice and Cannon Carlisle in your starting lineup, or would you rather have AJ DeBonce and 4 Gabe Cupses? Like he's going to cripple wherever he goes.
You say that, But a team of AJ demands on 4 gate cups. Think about it.
He's gonna cripple wherever he goes. I'm just all the warning signs are there, man. And everyone can write the pieces on how he's the best prospect and he's better than Flag and all that. He's super talented. I hear it. There are so many red flags. All Cam Boozer does is win everywhere he goes. Gotta take Boozer. Malik says, "What's a funny sports joke you heard recently, or just funny? I heard someone say after the WNBA team won, it should be considered treason."
I can't think of any good, like super good sports jokes right now.
Mm. Nothing funny.
Nah, nothing. Trying to think. I feel
Feel
like
like
I
this
saw
is
something on Twitter, but
feel like this is when somebody like finds out you're a comedian. It's like, tell me a joke. You're just like, I don't know. Like you're very inherently funny, but now you're on the spot. Like, give me something funny.
see, I'm funny, but I'm not joke funny.
Make me laugh, funny boy.
And honestly, that used to be life. You know that, right?
For real?
Like there was a king, right? And he's just walking around, he's just living life. And he's just like, man, there's no sports on. Things are really quiet right now. Hey, you jester over there, make me laugh. Tell me a joke. And if that jester fails, he gets fired. And if he gets fired, his head probably gets cut off.
Thank you for this retrospective. I mean, have you spent a lot of time thinking about this through the years?
More than I'm comfortable admitting, yeah.
Malik just wanted a joke, and instead he gets like a very thoughtful medieval. Imagine what that must have been like for Smots, which in itself is funnier than anything you could have done. Like, this is why you're special. Jack J7 says, thoughts on the potential pairing of another preseason scrimmage between Illinois and Kansas and Lawrence. I heard nothing good happens there.
I'm all for pre-season scrimmages with good teams playing each other.
Yeah, I'd take a buffer a couple years though before I like immediately drive my Illinois based team to Lawrence, Kansas. I think.
Yeah, I would too as well.
Yeah. Just wouldn't do that for a while. Brendan says, way too early Cinderella team for March Madness. Who do you think is going to be talented enough to make a run but underperform just the right amount to be a 12 through 16 seed?
Kansas State.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. If you just get Doug to the dance, he might be special once he gets there. I'm gonna keep sticking with Oregon. I don't know if 12 seed is like underperforming for them, but I really do believe in Jackson Shellstad. I think he could be like the hero of March Madness, and they may be in that range if that happens. Brendan also says, with the Olympics coming up, who would you choose from the NBA to compete in the? Then he has a couple different events: the javelin, the 100 meter, the 110 meter hurdles, and the 1500 meter, basically a mile, and then the marathon. You want to give me some NBA people who would be good Olympians?
I'm gonna stick with the actual basketball players on the Olympic team for this one. So javelin, I'm gonna go KD for javelin. I'm gonna go Derek White for the marathon. I'm gonna go Drew Holiday for the 1500. And what are the other ones?
Hurdles,
Hurdles, I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards.
100 meter.
100 meter. Ooh. I'm gonna take Steph for the 100 meters.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Final comment. Actually, this is not the final comment. Final one from Brendan. Who is the next college coach to make the jump from the NCAA to the NBA, and what team do they go to?
Dan Hurley.
Yeah. And what team? The Knicks after the Knicks losing the playoffs this year?
Yeah, the Nets.
Or the Nets, yeah. Jay Hart says this one is for Cart. What Olympic event do you have the best chance of winning at?
Um, Probably floor routine.
What?
Yeah, probably floor routine.
Why?
Because like there's like a little bit of dancing involved. Like I can do a flip on that thing, like the flip on the little boarded part. I can do a flip because it's springy. So I can do like at least a cartwheel and a flip and like mix in some choreography into it, get the crowd involved. Um, yeah, I think floor routine would be where I have my best chance.
You a big choreography guy? Like
Yeah.
every reason you just gave me of why you think floor routine is like things I would not consider strengths for you.
What do you mean? I got
A
rhythm.
little dancing involved. Little, I can do one of those flips on the thing. Like
I mean, you've seen me cartwheel.
I've not seen you flip. I've also
I
not
can't.
seen you cartwheel.
I said this was a thing in the Discord like a year ago where people said I couldn't
Oh
cartwheel.
yeah, you did a very half-assed cartwheel. You did.
All right, here we go.
It wasn't Olympic level.
I'm saying, what's my best chance? But floor, I'm not winning anything, but floor routine's my best shot.
I feel like there's better things you could have a chance at.
Like what?
I'm not going to name some because I am incredibly insulted that Jay Hart directed that just at you and doesn't want to know what I have the best event at. Because the reality is,
I could
I
do
have a
fencing too.
I have a better chance to win my event than you do at yours.
Why? What's your event?
I'm not going to answer it because nobody's asked it yet. If the people care enough, it'll be asked again and answered later this week. But the reality is, I could win my event. I could at least I could compete in my event. You could not compete in those events.
What's the event?
There's an event. Guy says, "Are you guys summer or winter
Yes.
Olympics fans?" I think I prefer to watch winter. No, I get destroyed in tennis, if that's what you said.
No, I didn't say. I said chess. Like, is it a
No,
mind game? Checkers?
there's mentals involved, but no, it's a physical game.
Is it a bobsled?
No,
Hmm. It's
yeah,
not swimming. It's not swimming.
no. You've seen me perform this event.
I know those. What?
You've seen me perform this event in a public setting where I was so impressive. I was asked to take a role in such event.
Ping pong?
Hmm.
Is that an Olympic event?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of local spots down the street from me with a bunch of random guys that probably wipe the floor with you. But yeah, sure, Olympian.
yeah. I
Um,
was begged to join the team. The one time I showed up to the ping pong club at the bar night, didn't even know that was a thing.
I was I was asked to join too. So what's that mean? I
You
think
were
they just
not
want
asked.
numbers.
You were not asked to join.
Yes, I was.
We played and you picked up 1 point on me.
Yeah, I'm not good at ping pong, brother.
Right, I'm great. You're not good
You're
at
you're
floor
you're
routine
so-
either.
you're solid. All right. Well, next time we set up a floor, I'll wipe the floor with you. No pun intended.
Big choreography guy.
I got rhythm.
That you don't have choreography because you have rhythm.
You realize choreography is just being taught dance moves, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I can do that.
Maybe, maybe not. You ever been a part of a choreographed dance?
Yeah, it's called
When?
TikTok.
That's so being good at TikTok dances, which honestly it's very subjective if you are even good at those or not. You think makes you all right. I do hate this sometimes. I really do. Let's see here. I think Purdue Fox is next. No, you missed Guy. You didn't answer his question. Do you like summer or winter Olympics?
Summer.
I'm a all Olympics guy. I don't discriminate. Purdue Fox says, have we as a society forgotten how good Carson Edwards was his senior year? Everyone remembers his tourney run, and rightfully so, but the guy finished third in KenPom Player of the Year. Now, our guy, Evan Mia, has him further down his senior year and Harms at 16th in the country, but Carson was an All-American. My point is just look at some of the names he's ahead of on this list. The KenPom Player of the Year standings from 2019. Jarrett Culver is at 1, Ethan Happ at 2, Carson Edwards at 3, Cassius Winston 4, Brandon Clark, RJ Barrett, Zion Williamson, Diedrich Lawson, and onward from there. Have we forgotten how good Carson Edwards was?
I don't think one thing this podcast will ever do is forget how good Carson Edwards was.
I know exactly how good Carson Edwards was. He was very fun. He was more fun than he was good. This season that you're talking about being so special, he did not shoot 40% from the floor. He averaged more turnovers a game than assists. He was a historically high volume shot chucker. When they went in, it was incredible. It was honestly Caleb Love-esque, except he made them more than Caleb Love often does. But yeah, it's if anything, it's a reminder of how good Painter is because Painter did win without a giant superstar center. He won with a shot chucking tiny little guard. Painter can build his team around a superstar a variety of ways. I loved Carson Edwards. I was a Carson Edwards stan. We're not going to sit here and paint that season as some historically special season. He was like pretty wildly inefficient for a first option in that very special season, and he was a black hole. He turned the ball over more than he passed.
Yeah, and fun though. Good Lord, was he fun.
Fun, fantastic. I've seen many better great guard seasons in my life than Carson Edwards senior season.
Facts.
Guy says in this or junior season, I believe he only played three. Guy says in the song "Bound to" by Kanye, it starts with what it starts with, right? Does that make your ears itch a little bit too? That's probably a terrible description, but it feels like that at least through my headphones. I need some explanations from Guy on why he chooses what he chooses to be read on the show.
Yeah, I need some too. I need some type of clarity.
Guy, I think you're a very creative young man and you are literally in charge of our socials. But the way you choose to use your creative gifts in our Discord is really baffling to me.
We
Moving
want
on.
better for you, guy. Please.
Manor says, how come UCLA gets to be a blue blood, but Indiana doesn't?
Who said last week that they don't care about blood?
I don't remember.
Like something like who cares? Who wants to like who cares about being a blue blood?
Um,
Blood's also red. No, blood's blue. Shut up.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
who cares?
yeah. My answer would be UCLA has won more than double the amount of national championships that Indiana has.
Ah, that's a good point.
UCLA has 11 championships. Indiana has five.
Could be the difference.
That might be the difference. Sleeve Nash says, what preseason top 10 team will disappoint the most? Think of a team like UNC a couple of years ago where they were ranked one but didn't make the tournament.
Ah, what top 10 team could it be? Uh, do you have a clear answer for this one?
No, I don't. I feel pretty confident all of the top 10 are pretty good this year. I do think there's a world where Iowa State is just like not that good, and like Arizona's in the Big 12 now, and like they underwhelm a little bit because they brought all the same pieces back, and people expect them to just be really consistent and win close games at the rate they did last year, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I would. The only thing I would say, and I do believe all these are going to be there, and I know it's Houston, so like I feel bad saying this, but like like Milos Uzan has to be good, I think,
Yeah.
for me to really believe in this Houston team. So that'd be another one that I probably would throw in there. But I truly believe all these teams are, not going to have like some Michigan State-esque season.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have three more comments to get through. Here we go. Sleeve says, Carter, how does it feel to see a legendary coach become washed and your school refuses to fire him because of his legacy and commitment to the school? Man, that must be sad while the orange and blue continue to elevate and run laps around y'all. Go
Run,
green, goofy ass. Enjoy 18 and 15 regular season.
run laps around us. That's precious, so precious. Y'all must be hanging hella banners in that time that y'all are just lapping us. It's really good. It's good though. I'm glad. I'm so glad that there is a second weekend to back up all this barking that comes from the Champagne Boys. I'm very pleased for them.
You know, it actually is one of those things where like it makes me want to defend y'all. Like there's just so much like, do you not see do you not remember? Do you not like step back and realize there's levels to like winning? And like a lot of teams can like make one Elite Eight in a decade. Like that's in fact, there's a bazillion programs who have done that in college basketball. Yeah, momentum is one thing. One program looks like it's headed in one direction, the other looks like it's headed in the other. But man, I'm as loud of the Michigan State haters I think I can find. I can't imagine being that pointed with it. Crazy. Crazy. AH says, if you could compare any college basketball player to these rappers, who are they? Jay-Z to start.
That's got to be one of the greater. This is not a good exercise for me to do on the
Like I'm
fly.
looking like great and somehow maybe somewhat underappreciated by a younger generation, but like great, but not the greatest. Is that fair?
Yeah, but I don't know that I'm trying to think who comes to my mind for that. Like great but underappreciated.
Um, yeah, I don't know. This is a tough question on the spot.
Do we skip this?
Zach Edey.
Honestly,
Great, underappreciated. Okay, Drake,
I mean, who's the greatest college basketball player of all time in your eyes?
who also like got completely belittled by a rival and torn to shreds.
Yeah, but also like is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but then like got completely like dehumanized by the other great from his era, head to head.
Right, but
So like
was the greatest of all
who's like the best Indiana Mike Woodson era guy?
time. Is Drake
Like
Trace Jackson Davis?
honestly, that's not that. That's pretty good. And you're just like TJD Muse Stan account.
JJG Mew. I need to
Uh
make a Muse account for myself.
Lil Wayne.
I hate this exercise so much. I'm sorry, Akil. That's nothing to do with you. I just don't like comparing these guys to like great rappers.
Okay, let's just move on. It was Lil Wayne, Kanye, Lil Baby, Ice Spice. Yeah, we struggled. I think we're sapped of creativity with how many questions there have been, Akil. I apologize. Final comment is from Dreadhead Dev Royal to King. If Chuck E. Cheese is a nickname or a shortened name, what would his real life name be? I'm talking birth certificate. I'm going with Charlie Edward Cheese or Charles Ed Cheese the Third.
What? What's going on in there?
Is peak off season hours right now, isn't it?
Good Lord. I'll go with the second one with Edwards.
I'm proud of the community we've created. I
Are
really
you
am.
proud of it?
Like where else can we find a safe haven for Dreadhead Dev Royal to King's Chuck E. Cheese birth certificate takes? Like
Yes. I'm glad we can be the platform for that.
it brings a lot of joy to my life. Join the Discord, $9.99 a month. It supports us directly. It allows us to pay producers and social media people and people like Brian Ralph and Riley Davis to be on the show and make appearances regularly. And it keeps the lights on in my house and in Carter's basement, where he has a future child on the way. Okay. Should we get to the show? Do we have to?
Well, I mean, you know what we have to do before we get to the show.
We have to remind our friends about Duncan Mechanical Solutions. Duncan Mechanical, the most dependable, reliable, quality furnace repair that you can find in the greater Midwest, Northeast Indiana, Southern Michigan. Comfort, quality. That's their standard. They're an HVAC company, whether it's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, kitchen, bath remodeling, emergency services, whenever you need them most, Duncan Mechanical is there. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com for more information. Tell them Sleepers sent you. Code Sleepers will get you 20% off your first order with Duncan Mechanical. Topic number one today, Carter, a good friend of the program, Tristan Freeman, the aforementioned trash man Freeman, as Malik referred to him, from bustingbrackets.com. He has Big Ten offseason grades, and I am fascinated by these, and I want to talk about these, Cart. So I'm going to pull up Tristan Freeman's grades, and we're going to go team by team, and we're going to say the grade that Tristan gave out, and then we are also going to give our grade because we haven't done a formal offseason grades thing up until this point. Any questions before this exercise begins?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
There's no reason for me to be, but I just am.
Understood. Any busting brackets, Tristan Freeman thoughts before we get into this?
Just know I love you, Tristan.
His first sentence in this article is, "It's been a big off season in the Big Ten these past few months."
All right, I'm out. I'm out. I'm completely out. I'm sorry.
I love Tristan. I wrote for Busting Brackets for a while. Never forget. Tristan Freeman employed me for a little bit, and it was a fun time of life. It really was. Okay, so here's what I think we want to do. We'll read Tristan's grade, and then we can obviously give ours. But do we want to make this more simple? Do we want to play like higher, lower, or just like agree, disagree, or do we want to grade Tristan's grade?
Ooh. No, because that'll get too confusing. But let's just go higher or lower.
Why don't we just give our own grades then? Here we go.
All right.
The first team up is the Illinois Fighting Illini. Tristan Freeman gives them a B for this offseason. You can read his elaboration. We won't read any of his elaboration on these as we go. Go read his article. B for Illinois is what Tristan gave them. What would you give their offseason grade?
Um, I think the transfer class I'm a little bit underwhelmed with. So I personally would go like B plus or A minus range, but I think it needs to be either one or the other, just to get nitpicky there.
This is what I asked last year when we did offseason grades, but we're taking into account like just everybody who lost, right? Even if they had no way of avoiding losing them.
Do we have to say like they lost?
I don't know. We need to figure out how we're doing this because like if I'm supposed to evaluate Shannon and Damask are gone.
No, I think evaluate it on actually guys they could have got back. So
Okay.
you can leave Coleman in the fold for this, but I
Okay.
will not let you include Terrence Shannon or Damask.
So Coleman, Sincere, Amani, Dane, Luke Goody, Moretti are the six that I'm allowed to evaluate here, and then the guys that took a step forward and came on.
Yep.
I think it's an A minus because I think Kasparis is a superstar.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I feel good
Yeah.
on.
So we're higher on Illinois' offseason than Tristan Freeman is. That's fascinating. Okay. Next up is the Indiana Hoosiers and Mike Woodson. Tristan gives them an A plus.
I agree.
Even though they like lost Liam McNeely and there was like maybe we're gonna lose our head coach too. We're gonna run him out of town.
I think I'd still give him an A plus.
Just bounce back A plus. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them an A. I'm gonna give them an A. It's obviously a great offseason. I wish they got another proven shooter beyond Luke Goody. That's the one thing I think they kind of didn't maneuver. And I mentioned it when they brought in Langdon Hatton. I would have rather brought another legitimate sniper shooter than Langdon Hatton. Next up is the Iowa Hawkeyes B minus from Tristan.
I would. I'm thinking more like C minus.
I mean,
They
they
get
didn't bring in many impact transfers.
Yeah. They got Peyton Sanford back.
They lost Tony Perkins. Patrick McCaffrey left his dad's team.
Is this F?
I'd give it a D.
I'll go D plus.
I don't think it was good. Next up is Maryland. Tristan gives them an A.
Ooh. I mean, they brought in Miguel, which I like. I like McQueen. I'm sorry, not McQueen. Derek Queen. I'm more of a Julian Reese truther than others. I think he's very productive. I love Gillespie. I think he's going to be incredible. Um, you said Tristan gave him a B.
He gave them an A.
I'll give him an A. That seems a little bit too strong for my liking. I would probably be more in like the B minus range.
Okay, I'm gonna give them an A minus, because I don't think it's as good as Indiana's. But bottom line is this: you lost nobody good. Like Jamie Kaiser's probably the only guy I would even want back from the group they lost. And Jacoby Gillespie's great. I like Rodney Rice more than I like Kaiser. I believe Selton Miguel can be a good piece. I think they got rid of 5 bad players and added at least 2.5 good ones. I think that's an A minus. Next up is the Michigan Wolverines. Tristan gives them a B plus.
Where would you go with this?
Well, I just have some quiet. Like, how are we sitting here saying Maryland is like an A, but like just as a Michigan fan here, like my offseason is defined by swapping Jawan Howard for the coach Louisville wanted to hire. Like, how is that not like unless we're just doing roster stuff? Like, this has been a great offseason, even if we're missing something. So, like, I am happy I get to watch basketball again. I don't the plan would have been like Terrence Williams again, year 5. And instead, like Danny Wolf's good. Vlad Golden's chiseled. Roddy Gale, I love. And we have promising young dudes and a coach who isn't going to punch people or assault a staff member. A, that's how I feel. Like we're on the top 10 list for transfer classes. How are we a grade and a half behind Maryland?
I'll go B plus.
That's what Tristan went with. I think it's at least an A minus, man. Like, if you want to dock it a couple points because they didn't get a star guard or something, fine. But like vibes couldn't be much higher for me after what I came off last year.
Yeah, it's a B plus.
Yeah, okay. A minus. Michigan
B
State.
plus.
Ooh, Tristan is capable of giving out a negative grade. He gave Michigan State a C minus.
I'd say I like C plus. C plus.
That's the lowest grade you've attempted to give out thus far, right? Other than Iowa.
There you go. See, I think we kind of whiffed getting a Big Ten level starting center. I think we did a good job of getting guys like Book back, given that the fact he could have transferred. So that's kind of nice. I like the freshman. I like Kurtang. Yeah, C plus though. Kind of underwhelming. Fiddler's a good ad, but I go C plus.
Okay. Yeah,
B minus maybe.
if we were allowed to answer this question objectively by the same rubric that we evaluate every other school, I would give this an F offseason. Because Michigan State has access to money they refuse to use because their head coach won't do it. So if other schools did that, we would probably just give them an F. But since we have to handle Michigan State with kid gloves and act like they don't have that money, then I think this is a B plus. I think Frankie Fiddler's pretty good. And yeah, I mean, you have a new face that isn't Madi Sissoko.
We got a worse center than Mady Sissoko.
Maybe, but Frankie
We
Fiddler's
did.
good.
We did.
Frankie Fiddler's good.
Yeah. We managed to downgrade the center spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kid gloves, B plus. Minnesota's next. They got a C.
I think Minnesota. I don't know how they get a C. Because they get the because I mean I guess a C they kept with Dawson Garcia, but
They keep Dawson, yeah.
besides that they lost everybody else.
They added a lot of good guys though. Like they added a bunch of dudes who did score double figures.
And do you think their grade's correct?
I'd probably just put it at a C because I don't know how good any of these dudes will be. They were productive. A lot of them were productive. I don't think they got a better guard than Elijah Hawkins, and I don't think they got a better big than Pharrell Payne. But I do think bringing Dawson Garcia's back, and I think they definitely added depth. Like they'll be a deeper team than they were last year. So I go C.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good with that.
Nebraska, Tristan gives them an A minus.
Uh, A minus might be a little bit high. I believe in Sejan and Griffiths. Also think there's a world where I'm gonna butcher his name. Is it Buchtensel?
Birkensell.
Buchtensel.
Birkensell.
Might be, great value rank mass, maybe in another world. But I go B plus.
I'm giving it a solid A. It's Nebraska for starters, and I like Gavin Griffiths and Connor Essegian and Burkett. Like, you added three dudes that I think at least one of, if not two, if not all three, are going to be good. I think you brought some nice pieces back. You really didn't lose anybody you care about that could have came back. You lost guys that graduated, and then you lost bit players who didn't do anything. So all in all, just because you didn't lose much and you got some talent dice rolls, I'll give it an A. Northwestern is next. Tristan gave them a B plus.
Doesn't that seem high?
Yeah, I mean, unless you really like Jalen Leach, which I know a lot of people do.
I like Jalen Leach, but even with Jalen Leach, like you lost. I guess they didn't have a chance to get Boo back, but
The only guy who went out that they could have retained is Parker Strauss. So you're really evaluating them on losing nothing and adding Jalen Leach and Keenan Fitzmaurice.
I'll go B plus.
Honestly, with that, I'm going to give it a B plus because you could have lost Ty Berry or Barnheiser. The fact
Right.
that those guys just returned and didn't look at the portal is good. Ohio State gets an A. Once again, I'm mad about the Michigan grade if we're giving Ohio State an A. Good class for sure. What grade would you give Ohio State?
Probably like a B plus.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I have this part clear. They lost their second best, maybe best guard to their biggest rival. They lost a former five-star recruit to Seton Hall. They lost their starting center to an SEC top 15 program in the country and replaced the starting center with two different bigs that were less productive than the starting center last year. But they brought Michi Johnson back. And we're thinking that's a great offseason. They hired Jake Diebler, for God's sake. This one's blowing you away, Tristan. It's an A. That's nice. I don't like much of this. They brought some talent in, like Stewart and Bradshaw are fine. I give it like a B minus. There's a lot I just would have done completely differently, or rooted to have happened differently if I'm an Ohio State fan.
I'm comfortable to B minus.
Okay. Next up is Oregon. Tristan gave them an A minus.
Oh, I mean, what they add TJ Bamba.
Brandon Angel, Raheem Moss, Supreme Cook, Drew Carter is a walk on. Uh,
They did some solid things. I'd go B though. But
I'm
I'm not
with
a TJ.
Tristan.
I'm not a Bamba guy.
I'm with Tristan A minus because they didn't really lose anybody other than Brennan Rigsby, who went to Minnesota. And he's Brennan Rigsby. So I think they got better players in.
Love Brandon Rigsby.
Other guys were out. Penn State, Tristan gives them a C minus.
They kept Ace Baldwin,
They kept Ace Baldwin.
so for that alone,
They lost Kanye Clary.
he lost Kanye. Okay, I'm C.
Kanye Clary averaged more points per game than all four of their incoming transfers combined last season.
Ah, they got Puff Johnson back.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. I'll give it a C. That's the default. Purdue, B minus from Tristan for Purdue's offseason, which included 0 incoming transfers because of their coach, I guess, planning not to use the portal and oversigning high schoolers. And then losing their biggest high school recruit at the last minute. Tristan goes B minus for that.
But they got Jacobson.
I mean, it's a very good freshman class, right?
Yeah,
But
good freshman class.
let me
They
just
main,
get to summarize. I'm sorry.
they maintain. This Michigan one's got you in hell.
Mason Gillis is at Duke, helping them compete for a national championship. Ethan Morton's at Colorado State. Not that anybody cares. They did not use the portal willingly because they needed to sign 3 3-star prospects that are outside of the top 100 and may not be in the rotation this year. And their best freshman left for BYU at the very last minute. That was their offseason, and we got a B grade for that.
They kept guys though.
So, I mean, who was the threat? Braden? We're worried we're going to lose Braden or like Colvin.
Yeah, maybe you never know.
Thank God they kept Ryan Waddell and Will Burkhardt. I listen, I love Purdue and I love Braden. I don't think we're sitting here being like our offseason went great and we improved. Like,
Yeah, they also don't really care about their offseason.
yeah, they're just like, if we're evaluating just the offseason, I think this was a pretty shitty offseason for Purdue. You lost the one dude everybody said was special. Your coach is owing the portal and nobody cares. Like, we're gonna break down the freshman class in a couple of weeks and give them really high grades, but like, I don't see how this is a passing grade, let alone like a B. So
See,
give it like a D, D
D.
plus because I like the freshman.
Yeah, we'll go D plus.
I mean, I would have liked them to use the portal and upgrade the roster and try and win a national championship. I would have liked them to return Mason Gillis. I would have liked not bringing in 5 freshmen that include 3 3-stars. Maybe make that a 3-man class and go get 2 guys that help you on the court. I would have liked them to not lose Cannon Catchings. There's 4 different things I would have liked that would have made this offseason better for Purdue. So D feels right. Thank God we didn't have to do a real video on that. That would have gotten us in trouble, I feel like.
For sure.
Rutgers B plus.
I mean, they lose Cliff. That's a thing. And they replace him with someone who's not close to Cliff. But on the other hand, fun freshman. Got to remember fun freshman. That feels about right, I guess.
I mean, losing Cliff and not even getting a replacement is like half of this, right?
They got one. There's a body.
Maybe Rutgers fans will probably say like the vibes are an A. If we do offseason vibes rankings, I think it would be scored differently than this. For the offseason, I'm gonna give Rutgers a C. Like just letting Cliff get ripped away on the open market with no backup plan is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
UCLA A plus for Tristan for their offseason. They lost a lot of transfers out. A plus.
They lose any good players out?
Burke. So no.
Guys, A plus seems a little bit too high for my liking.
Yeah, isn't there a good chance Sky Clark's the best player in the incoming class?
Yeah. Also, like the guards were part of guards on bad teams, and then they brought in guards who haven't necessarily won, players that haven't necessarily won. Um, I'd feel more comfortable in like the B minus range for this, to be honest with you.
I'm fine with like A minus because I think they brought in productive basketball players and got rid of non-productive ones. But I
Give
have
me
doubts.
give me B plus. I can't have this in the A.
Okay, I won't fight you on it. B plus. Tristan's grade for USC is also a B plus.
This should be an A plus. No, I'm kidding. I mean, they lost everybody, obviously, given a coaching change. Did they get a better coach?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's a good offseason.
Yeah, I think the offseason, if it includes the hiring decision, like USC getting Musselman's huge. So
Yeah,
I think I would advocate for like an A, even if you have questions with certain players, which I definitely do. I think I would advocate for this being a really good offseason if you're a USC basketball fan.
I'd agree.
Yeah, give them an A. Washington gets a B. Again, they hire Danny Sprinkle, get Danny Sprinkle's best player, Great Osibor with him, along with DJ Davis, Tyler Harris, other guys. Not a bad offseason by any
Not
means.
a bad offseason. They brought in some guys. They got some notoriety with Asabor being one of the highest paid players. Um, I would say this would be a B.
Zoom Diallo.
Oh, I like Zoom. Maybe a B plus.
I'm gonna go B plus. I'm
Giving
gonna go B
everyone B
plus.
pluses.
I'm gonna go B plus. And the final one here is Wisconsin. Tristan gives them a C minus.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, no changes.
No, that sounds about right.
I mean, you got Hepburn ripped away from you, but also he's Chucky Hepburn, right? So you got a Sejan ripped away from you, you got Store ripped away from you. I don't know how this is in the C's. This should be like a D minus.
Like a F.
Like basically, this entire offseason was other programs going around saying, "You're poor, you're poor," and Greg Gard like having to answer and address the media and be like, "Yep, we're poor." So honestly, that's an F for me, Card.
I mean, it's when you put it like that.
Yeah, I think it's an F. Okay. Thank you, Tristan. Go everybody support Busting Brackets and make sure you read everything that Tristan Freeman does. But thanks for giving us a great topic today. Let's bring back our points per game guessing game. And this time we're gonna do Illinois. I'm excited for this one. We've done the series with Michigan State and Purdue last week. We're going to sprinkle a few more in this week. And I think there's going to be some players that we have in a completely different ballpark than Illinois fans do. Should be intriguing. You ready for this?
Ooh, after I sneeze, I am. Woo! All right.
That felt like a yawn, not a sneeze.
Well, I think I got some like some pollen things going or something. I don't know. I'm very congested, one might say.
Are your sneezes yawns?
That was a sneeze.
Might want to get that checked.
Okay.
Okay. Who do you think is going to lead Illinois in scoring?
Uh, Conspiracy.
Was there any part of you that thought it might be somebody else because Kasparis becomes like premier setup guy?
I even if he does, I still think he leads the team in scoring.
Okay. Okay. What's his number?
I would have him at 16.7 points a game.
Last season, Terrence Shannon was at 23 as a first option. Marcus Damask was at 15.9, but that was playing next to Terrence Shannon.
Mm.
I think there is a world where Kasparis' points per game are insanely high on this team.
There is.
So I think they might need it to. With that said, 16.7 already is very high. And I actually love that number, Cart. I want to take that exact number because I want to applaud you going with decimals for this exercise for the first time. It means you're taking it serious.
I heard the chatter. I
Yeah,
heard it.
you're taking it serious. Okay. Kasparis 16.7. Next up is who? Let me nominate. I think it could be Benham Rickhouse. I think it could be Will Riley. I think it could be Trey White. You could convince me it's one of the bigs or Kylan Boswell.
Go Benjamin.
Here's my strong pushback to you on Ben. I'm willing to rank him and then figure it out from there. I still don't think Ben is a guaranteed starter. I think he's the biggest up in the air guy. It's him or Trey White to me that finds a starting role on this team. That doesn't mean he can't play huge minutes, but I'm afraid role wise to rank Ben really, really high.
I would have Ben too.
Don't you think like there's probably a higher likelihood Will Riley and Kylan play more minutes?
Yeah, maybe more minutes, maybe especially with Kylan, but I think that Benjamin's going to be the
What do you
second.
think Will Riley averages at Evansville last year?
Probably right around what Ben averaged.
Can you say that out loud for me one more time?
Probably right around what Ben averaged.
You think Will Riley would average Benham Rickhouse numbers at Evansville?
Yeah, probably not, huh?
I think Will Riley would like at least like Patrick Baldwin, right? Like just he's a way more gifted scorer. He's a way more gifted scorer.
What Patrick Baldwin average at Milwaukee?
In my head, like 21.
No, no, wasn't he kind of bad?
He was bad, but the scoring was there.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'd like to double check that. He averaged 12.
That's a miss on my part. Nope, not a miss because he only played 11 games total. So we get to throw that entire thing out.
He was bad, man. He was bad.
Okay, he was bad. Fine. That means we have to do Home House, doesn't it?
Yes, I think.
I mean,
I think
if you think Will Riley would score 14 a game at Evansville, like what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
hey, the Purple Aces, man.
What's your number for Home House?
I have Rickhouse at 14.1.
14.1. Ah, I have Home House at 9.6,
Ooh,
which is identical to Quincy Guerrier's numbers last year, which means Home House comes out to 11.8 points a game this year.
11.8.
Next up is Will Riley. Can we do that, or do you have somebody else that you think is going to average more than the 5-star lottery pick?
No, we can go with Riley.
Okay.
Actually, no, I like to go. No, I'll go with Riley.
Okay. Uh, I have Will Riley at 13.4 points per game.
I got him at 11.7.
Add that together, divide by 2, 12.6 for Will Riley. I am very happy he ended up higher than Benham Rickhouse. Okay. Next up, where do you want to go? Trey White, Kylan Boswell, one of the bigs. God forbid Ty Rogers, Trey Gibbs Lawhorn.
I think we gotta go Kylan here, don't we?
I think that would be the safe move.
Okay, let's go safe here.
Okay. What's your number?
I got Kylan at 8.9.
He averaged 9.6 at Arizona, playing 27 minutes a game with a very large slump down the stretch of the season. So you think that's going to dip?
Mm-hmm.
You had 8.9?
8.9.
8.9. I have 11.3, which means his average becomes 10.1.
Feels about right.
Feel good with that. Okay. Lead me. Where are you on next? I'd go Trey White.
Sure we don't want to go Merez?
I'd go Trey White. The reports are Trey White's been really good. I think
Okay. Let's go Trey
he's
White.
for sure going to play off the bench. Good amount.
Okay. I got Trey White at 8.2.
I got him at 9.4. So I'm a little higher than you. That averages out to 17.6, which makes it 8.8. I think if there's one that we've been too low on thus far, it would be Trey White. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Next up,
I can see that happen.
time for the bigs, or do you want to sprinkle in a Ty Rogers DGL?
Let's go Big T here.
Big T next.
Big
Okay.
T.
Remender.
Actually, no. Actually, yes, Big T.
Reminder that Thomas Slavovicic averaged 7-3 in his most recent professional endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number for Big T?
So I want to put Merez here, but I think that if they play Benjamin at the 4, that could throw off things for Merez. Or maybe they make Merez the 5. I don't know. I need to know Brad's thought process here. but I'm gonna have Big T at 7.4.
All right, I'm warning everybody. This is the guy I'm going to be low on. And I'm fine to be wrong. I'll eat my crow when it happens. But I believe Merez is going to be better than this guy at basketball next season. I don't think like if I mean I know he can shoot a little bit, but if Brad's really talking about we want to play fast, that doesn't scream play Tom Ivicic to me. And that's all we've heard is like run, 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 up and down, 14 seconds. Tom Ivicic hasn't been with the team yet. And he that's not his game to me. He's like, I'm not saying he's plotting, but he's a 7-footer that can play on the perimeter. And if you want to actually run and play small ball, you're going to play true small ball. You're going to play Merez at the 5. So if you have him at 7-4 or 7.4, I apologize. I have him at 4.1. I just don't think he's going to play a ton. And to be completely point blank about it, I think 4.1 is better than his brother averaged at Kentucky last year. His brother was clearly a better prospect than him. I think this might even be a little rosy, but that gets him to 5.8 points a game next season. Let's do Merez next because he is one that I will have higher than I just did.
So I got Merez at 6.7.
6, huh?
Think.
Why 6? That feels a little low to me just because I think Merez is going to find the floor, but
I just don't know if they're gonna play Merez at the 5, which I would feel I'd had this higher if I can get like him guaranteed at the 5.
okay. 6.7. I'm gonna go. This feels a little high. I'm gonna go 8.0. I'm gonna go 8.0. Divided by 2, it's 7.4. All
Okay.
right. All right. So we have Kasparis, Riley, Rickhouse, Boswell, Trey White, Merez, Visich. I would say we could still do Carey Booth, DGL, and Ty Rogers. That's probably the 3. We'll cap it at 10, and we'll leave off Jake Davis and Jaxtis.
Okay, that works.
DGL, Ty, or Carey Booth.
Then we gotta have Ty next.
Yep.
I would
Last
have
season, he averaged 6.2.
I'd have Ty at 5.8.
How do you think his numbers go down?
Because I think there's honestly top to bottom probably more talented players than there were on last year's team.
So you think he's going to play less?
I think so. I think he should, yes.
All right. I'm going to do the thing where I cheat. You had 5.8.
Yeah.
I have 6.4. That way we can divide it, and it's identical to what he was last year. 6.1. I think that's fair.
Okay, that's fair, I guess.
DGL next or Booth?
DGL.
DGL last season averaged 2.4 points a game. A lot of talent brought
I'd
in.
have him right around like 4.4.
4, huh? See, we're getting to the thing where I think we're overrating all the end of the bench guys, and we're going to add it up, and the number's going to be way too high. But you want to go 4.4? I'm going to go 3.0. So 4.4 plus 3 divided by 2 is 3.7 for DGL. And now Carey Booth.
I just don't think he plays that much. I probably have him at like 2.1.
Yeah, I don't think he plays. I'm going to go 2.7. So 4.8 divided by 2 is 2.4. All right. Let's add this up and figure out how off we were. Kasparis at 16.7 points. Will Riley, 12.6. Rickhouse, 11.8. Boswell, 10.1. Trey White, 8.8. Merez Johnson, 7.4. Ty Rogers, 6.1. Tomovicic, 5.8. DGL, 3.7. Carey Booth, 2.4. Card, that is 85 points a game, which is an insanely high amount. Last season, they averaged 83 points a game.
Damn it.
They said they're going to play faster.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna be there. No way they score this many though, right?
Well, it always gets a little boosted up when you do the per game averages because the end of the
True.
bench guys don't play. But to me, if there's a guy I think we're too high on, I think it's probably the bigs. Like Merez and Avicic combining for 13.2 points a game probably feels high to me.
Yeah, that probably is a lot.
Yeah.
Sense.
Also, you think Rickhouse is a star, and that's kind of wild.
It is.
It's just a very Big Ten centric episode today because you picked our final topic, and it's Big Ten coach tiers. What you didn't know is that I prepared the tiers before we got here. Would you like to hear them?
Really?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, sure. Let's hear 'em.
I have 8 tiers from my Big Ten coaches. I'd like to
8.
unveil them to you. Yes. I'd like
Okay.
to. Here's how I want this game to work. I'll give you the tiers, and then you have to go tier by tier or coach by coach and assign them to a tier. And I'll fight you along the way if needed. That work?
Okay. All right, sure.
Okay. Tier number 1. This guy can currently win you a national championship. That is the best tier. Just he can conceivably win you a national championship as the coach of your school in this era. Tier number 1. Tier number 2, this guy has money.
Okay.
Tier number 3, this guy has money but won't use it.
Okay.
Tier number 4, we think this guy's good.
Okay.
Tier number 5, handsome.
Okay. So some of these can go multiple categories here.
You see what I'm on to. Yeah. Tier number 6, Fran McCaffrey.
Okay.
Tier number 7, we think this guy's bad.
Okay.
Tier number 8, definitely bad.
Definitely. Okay.
Definitely bad. This guy can currently win you a national title. This guy has money. This guy has money but won't use it. We think this guy's good, handsome, Fran McCaffrey. We think this guy's bad, definitely bad. Any questions before we go?
No, I think I can make this work.
Okay, there's 18 coaches. Carter, tell me where they belong.
Oh, okay. We'll start with Brad Underwood.
Okay.
Brad Underwood is going to go into good Lord.
These are great tiers, man. They're great
Yeah,
tiers.
they are. I'm going to put him in category 1.
A national title.
Yes.
Okay. Give me just like 1 to 2 sentences on elaboration, but I don't hate it.
I think that Brad can build national championship level rosters
Okay.
with the way he approaches the game.
Here's all the categories I think Brad could have fallen in. He could have been in national title. I won't fight it. He could have been in this guy has money. I think he could have been in this guy has money but won't use it. Honestly, the way this offseason happened, it kind of there's money left on the table, I think. I think he couldn't be in we think he's good because we know he's good. With all due respect, I don't think he could be in handsome. The spoiler surprise here, Cart, he could have been in Fran McCaffrey.
He could have.
Brad may have just turned into Fran McCaffrey overnight. And if we wanted to go negative, you could have landed him in Fran McCaffrey. But I think you landed on the correct tier. That's where I would have Brad too. He can win a national championship.
We could have. All right, moving on. Indiana, Mike Woodson has money.
This guy has money.
This guy has money.
Yep. Totally agree.
Next team, Iowa Hawkeyes, Fran McCaffrey. I think he belongs in the Fran McCaffrey tier.
Here's my pushback.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. Here's my pushback. Fran McCaffrey is an idea, Cart. It's not a person. Like Fran McCaffrey became the butt of our jokes in the 2010s because Fran McCaffrey was the guy who could only coach one thing on the basketball court and was just like you had a ceiling. Even if you had a good regular season team, your team was always going to be good and then flame out in March because it's Fran McCaffrey. That's all that we were supposed to accept. The problem with Fran McCaffrey right now, he's not currently Fran McCaffrey anymore. He's not. You have to be good as a prerequisite. Your team has to win games to be Fran McCaffrey. I think Fran McCaffrey currently is we think this guy's bad.
We think Fran's bad.
We think this guy's bad. Currently, that's where I would put Fran McCaffrey. We could be wrong, but I think
he's also Fran McCaffrey.
He can't even convince his kid to stay there.
That's a valid point. Okay. All right. So they would go into the we think this guy's bad.
I have Fran McCaffrey, and we think this guy's bad. As long as you're okay with that.
I can't push back too much on that. I
Okay,
don't.
keep it moving.
Okay. Kevin Willard, the Maryland Terps. I think this guy's bad.
No, this guy has money.
No, I just think this guy's bad.
Okay, I'm fine with
Uh, Michigan Wolverines, Dusty May.
quite a few. You could throw him in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go handsome. Either handsome or we think this guy is good.
Handsome, or we think these guys good. Not in Fran McCaffrey.
Not in Fran McCaffrey. Yeah.
And just to make sure, not in this guy can win you a national title.
Yes.
This guy took Florida Atlantic to a Final Four. They almost played in one.
Mm-hmm.
He's done more in March than Brad has,
Mm-hmm.
with way less resources.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see it at a bigger school first.
Yeah, I think this guy is good.
Well, you wanted him in handsome, didn't you?
I mean, that'd be my first choice. Yeah,
So is he handsome, or we think this guy's good? You got
he's
it.
handsome.
It's your list.
Handsome.
Okay. Handsome kind of implies just handsome, though, does it not?
No, not if you think that way.
Okay. Dusty May's handsome.
Yeah, Michigan
Okay.
State, Tom Izzo. There's only two categories you can go here. You can go with has money but doesn't use it, or can win a natty.
Well, that
Out of
wouldn't.
respect, he's won one, so he has to be on the can win one category.
Well, the categories can currently win you a title.
If he's won, if you, in my eyes, if you won one before, you can win another one.
If the game was still played like it was in 1999 and the portal was where it was in 1999 and money was what it was in 1999, then yes, I would agree.
So one or three.
I think there's one category we can put him in right now.
Fran McCaffrey.
It would be the guy that has money but won't use it. Is Tom Izzo.
Okay. Guy has money but won't use it.
Okay.
I figured he would belong in that category.
Probably. Kind of seems like that category was created for him. Yeah.
It's one might say. Minnesota Golden Gophers, Ben Johnson. He might be Fran McCaffrey.
He could be all over the place.
I put him in the category we think that guy's good.
Here's my issue. I don't think we can put Ben Johnson in a tier that exists above Dusty May. I just don't. I think that's a little backwards. Like if Ben Johnson was fired from Minnesota tomorrow, I don't think people are lining up to hire Ben Johnson. Dusty was, in theory, one of the hottest names in the sport. So
Do we think that Ben Johnson's bad?
no, I don't. So that if we don't think he's bad and we don't think he's good, then he
He's
has to
Fran
fall in,
McCaffrey.
or handsome.
Fran.
I think Ben's handsome
I'd go Fran.
because he's not handsome, or
No,
like I need the
I'd go.
pitch on why he's Fran. I don't. You got it. Your team has to like be a little better at something to be Fran.
They're spunky.
I think Ben's handsome.
I mean, I guess it'd be fair to put him there.
I mean, or we could drop him into we think this guy's bad, but then we're going to be dealing with Gopher Crew. But we like trolling Gopher Crew.
But also we believe in Ben Johnson. But what does that belief entail?
I can't, out of principle, I cannot have Ben Johnson higher on a list than Dusty May. I think that's ludicrous.
Well, they're not higher.
Yeah, these are tiered in order. Like you would rather have the guy that can currently win you a title over the guy that has money, over the guy that has money but won't use it, over the guy that we think is good but we aren't sure, over the guy who's just handsome, over the guy who's Fran McCaffrey, over the guy who we think is bad, over the guy who's definitely bad.
So
Oh,
you'd rather have Mike Woodson than your current coach.
I'd rather have Mike Woodson with his resources.
Mm,
Yeah, I would rather have Indiana's roster than Michigan's. Yeah. Like
okay.
I think
All right,
so.
so let's put Ben in handsome. It's either handsome or Fran.
Let's put Ben in handsome for now. And if we need to create a new category for Ben at the end, we will.
All right, Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Like, should
Coach,
he be
Coach,
sort of handsome? like
like Squint handsome,
like we have handsome and like in the right outfit.
handsome plus. Where are we putting Hoiberg?
Handsome.
It got to.
Which now that Hoiberg's in the category, I don't think Ben can be in it.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like we might have to move him back to Fran. You're right. Continue.
Chris Collins, Northwestern.
Oh man.
I
He
I
could
want to
go
say we think this guy is good.
he could go in three categories for me. He could be we think this guy's good. He could be handsome. He could be Fran McCaffrey. This is the first one I feel like could be Franny. But Chris Collins doesn't run great offense though.
He just kind of, but he does, but he might not run great offense, but they both center it around one guy,
They center around one guy and like there's like they're not going anywhere when they get to the tournament. They
right?
win a lot of
But
games.
like
They win more games than they should.
Chris Collins belongs in the Fran category.
You think so?
I think he's a little franny. Yeah.
Let's put Chris Collins in Fran for now, and then we'll revisit if we need to.
Ohio State, Jake Diebler.
I think it's we think this guy's bad, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Until he proves us he's not.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Dana Altman, Oregon.
See, I would argue Dana's Fran McCaffrey too. But he's also too good for that. He's probably we think this guy's good.
Yeah, I think we think this guy's good. Is where I put him.
We
Given
think
his
he's good.
yeah.
Hold up, though.
Oh God.
He has Nike money.
Ooh.
Is Dana Altman this guy has money, or is it we think this guy's good?
We think. Ooh.
I mean, the money's probably
He's
the
got it's
loudest part of
Nike.
Dana.
Has money. Has money. It's Nike.
So Dana Altman is in the this guy has money territory up at the top. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm with it. Okay.
Okay. Mike Rhodes, Penn State.
Oh man.
We we think this guy's bad.
Do we don't know that he's bad, right?
But right now, I think we think he's bad.
Okay. Yeah, we think he's bad.
Let's see. No, Matt Painter, Purdue.
I'll let you say it, but I think we know where.
Fran McCaffrey. No, I'm kidding. He can win a natty,
This guy can currently win you a national championship.
I think.
He can. If Brad's in it, Painter's in it.
Yeah. Steve Peichel, Rutgers.
Are you okay? What was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
breaking right now. Steve Peichel and Rutgers.
Ugh.
Petition to add a category.
Please, for the love of God.
Reverse Fran McCaffrey.
What is what does that mean?
Peichel's reverse Fran McCaffrey. Like he's had teams that win more than they should, but he's the reverse. Fran was all offense, no defense. Peichel's all defense, no offense.
Ooh. Okay. I like that. I'm good with that.
Okay, so we new category is reverse Fran McCaffrey. And Steve Peichel is in that. If it wasn't him there, I think it would have had to be like we think he's good, right?
Yeah.
And that
Probably.
feels too high because
It
sometimes
does
I
feel
think
too high.
Steve's bad,
Yeah.
but sometimes he's good.
Mick Cronin at UCLA. Um, hmm. We're sure Mick Cronin is good, right?
I'd go, we think this guy's good.
It's got to be one of the we thinks.
Unless you want to put him in this guy can win a title,
No.
then I think it's got to be we think this guy's good.
Okay, let's go that way then.
Okay.
Eric Musselman, USC Trojans.
It's either, I mean, he definitely has money. So it's either this guy has money or this guy can win you a national title. I think it's money.
Has money.
I think it's this guy has money. Yep.
Last two. Danny Sprinkle at Washington. Could be has money. Um, I don't know. Where do we stand on Danny Sprinkles? Like, do we put him in and we think this guy's bad until he shows us something? Like outside of Utah State?
Why do I want to put Danny Sprinkle and Fran McCaffrey?
They're both tall.
They're both
Both some white boys
tall.
with some shit to them.
Let me make sure. If Utah State's offense was like pretty great last year, right?
Was it?
I want to make sure. Yeah, 34th best offense last year. Danny Sprinkle. I mean, he started with no good offense at Montana State and worked it up to like 169th. He's never made it to a Sweet 16. 2 first-round exits at Montana State. Got blown out in the round of 32 at Utah State. I like him in Fran McCaffrey.
Let's do Fran McCaffrey.
And also, if he's in Fran McCaffrey, I kind of want to move Collins out of Fran McCaffrey.
So to Handsome.
We can revisit at the end of the list if you want.
Okay. And last is Greg Gard for Wisconsin.
Ooh. Oh man, I hate saying this. I do. I think Greg Gard's good. I think he's just a good basketball coach, Cart.
This is my tier list, isn't it? I'm pulling rank for my one time here. He's bad.
I don't think we can put a guy who won the Big Ten in the we think he's bad category.
Oh, I didn't want to. I wanted to put him in 8.
Oh, you want to put him in we know he's bad?
Yeah.
We can't do that, man. I'm not making a graphic that has the Wisconsin head coach at the bottom.
Can we do we think he's bad?
I'd like to propose making one more new tier.
Okay.
So we have we think this guy's good, and then we have handsome. I'd like to propose we add hands. So it goes from handsome to hands. And I'd like to
Hands.
put Greg Gard in hands.
Okay. I'm good with that. Just create another tier.
Okay. So Greg Gard is in hands. So that means, in summary, Big Ten coach tiers. The guy can currently win you a national title is Underwood and Painter. This guy has money is Woodson, Altman, and Musselman. Also, they all end in N. I like that. This guy has money but won't use it is Tom Izzo. We think this guy's good is Mick Cronin. Handsome is Dusty May, Ben Johnson, and Fred Hoiberg. Hands is Greg Gard. Fran McCaffrey is Chris Collins and Danny Sprinkle for the moment, but I think we want to move Collins out. Reverse Fran McCaffrey is Steve Peichel. We think this guy's bad is Fran McCaffrey, Kevin Willard, Jake Diebler, Mike Rhodes, and definitely bad is nobody. So we can delete that category.
Feels like us, but not having anyone definitely bad.
We got to get Chris Collins out of Fran McCaffrey. So where do we put Chris Collins?
Handsome.
Okay, but if we move Chris Collins into handsome, we got to get Ben Johnson out of handsome.
Ben Johnson down to hands.
We can't put Ben Johnson in hands.
Can the last category just be Ben Johnson?
That seems mean.
What do we do?
I don't know. We have to find a category for Ben Johnson.
Team bad, coach good.
Good coach, bad team.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got it. We have to make more categories again.
Oh, God.
Okay, under the Fran McCaffrey. So we go from Fran McCaffrey to reverse Fran McCaffrey. Then we go good coach, bad team. And that's Ben Johnson. And then we go, sorry, my whole thing is messed up right now. Then we go bad coach, good team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works. That works.
And bad coach, good team is Kevin Willard.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And good coach, bad team is Minnesota.
And good coach, bad team is Ben Johnson. And then we're just left with we think this guy's bad, which is Jake Diebler, Mike Rhodes, and Fran McCaffrey.
That works.
Um, all right, I'm loving this. Are we positive Dusty May belongs in handsome?
Yes.
And now we think this guy's good. That's really
Yes.
chirping me.
He belongs in handsome.
This might be the first 3-hour long Sleepers podcast episode, and it's just me debating. Are we sure this guy's not handsome?
He belongs in handsome.
All right, we'll make a graphic on this. Good Lord, thanks for listening to it. One big thing presented by Reverse Fran McCaffrey and Duncan Mechanical Solutions. What do you got?
My one big thing is shout out to the Detroit Lions, like marketing team, I think it is. My father is a season ticket holder, and they like always send something, right? And sometimes it's like real corny like things, but this one is actually pretty fire. I want to show this helmet that they sent. 1 second. Sorry if it's making a lot of noise.
Is this the new one?
I don't even know if they're wearing this helmet or not, but like they literally sent like a helmet.
Wow. Card, I think they are wearing that. I think that's the new alternate helmet, and it's nasty.
And I want to take this out because there's like some black thing kind of at the top here. Because I think they want you to prevent you from wearing this, but I want to wear this.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful. It got less beautiful now, but it is beautiful. That looks so uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, well, you can't like put your head fully through it.
You can't, or no one can.
No one can because there's something at the top that prevents you from wearing it.
Got it. Very nice. Luther just gave that to you? You didn't want to keep that?
So I might have stole it.
Probably. Probably.
It got delivered to his house. And they were out of town. I was picking up packages, and sometimes I go through their packages to see what they got. And I saw this in there,
Mm.
and I took it.
Okay. Well, it looks nice. All right. My one big thing is I just want to reiterate that I'm a wedding guy. Like, if you need a wedding, or if you're having a wedding and you need a guy to just come show out at the wedding, look no further. I'm available. I think I'm a constant positive presence. And after a year off, last year there were no weddings to attend for us. I'm back. There's 3 more coming. I got the dates circled. It was good to shake that rust off. I already am watching film. Like, I went back and revisited what I did right, what I did wrong this Saturday night. You're going to get the best version of me you've ever seen for the rest of this wedding season. That's a warning. That's the show. We'll see you tomorrow.